shapes our world today. Hold up, before you think this is just ancient history, think again. The impact of European imperialism is like the foundation of a house. You might not see it, but it's holding everything up. Remember those borders on a map? Yeah, many of those were drawn by European powers, often with zero regard for the people actually living there. Talk about bad roommates, am I right? And let's not forget the economic systems. European powers basically set up shop, took resources, and left many former colonies in a tough spot, economically dependent and trying to play catch-up ever since. European languages, religions, and cultures spread like wildfire for better or worse. But this cultural exchange came at a cost, often silencing indigenous voices and traditions. By understanding this history, we can start unpacking the world we live in today, and maybe, just maybe, learn from the mistakes of the past. Let's rewind to the 15th century. Europe's feeling cramped, like a teenager stuck at home. They're hungry for adventure, spices, and gold. Enter the age of exploration, where explorers claimed continents. Spain and Portugal led the charge, expanding empires. Portugal, guided by Prince Henry, set up African trading posts. Columbus, aiming for India, bumped into the Americas. The New World was a treasure chest of gold and resources. Now imagine two siblings fighting over a giant pizza. That's basically Spain and Portugal after stumbling upon the Americas. They're both eyeing up the prize, ready to claim it all for themselves. But luckily, before things could get too heated, Big Brother steps in to mediate. And by Big Brother, we mean the Pope. In 1494, Pope Alexander VI, a man of God with a knack for real estate deals, drew a line down the Atlantic Ocean, like he was splitting a restaurant bill. This line, established by the Treaty of Tordesillas, gave Spain control of most of the Americas, while Portugal got dibs on Africa and a slice of South America that would eventually become Brazil. But here's the catch. This whole agreement completely ignored the fact that there were already millions of people living in these newly discovered lands. Indigenous populations were treated like an afterthought, their voices silenced as European powers. Remember those other European nations eyeing the colonial buffet with envy? They weren't content to sit on the sidelines forever. England, France, and the Netherlands were ready to challenge Spain and Portugal's dominance. England's navy of daring explorers and privateers started nipping at Spain's heels. France set up shop in Canada, claiming vast territories for fur trading. The Dutch East India Company set its sights on Asia, establishing trading posts and colonies. With new technologies and business models, now buckle up, because we're about to enter the world of big business 17th century style. Forget Apple, Google, or Amazon. The original corporate giant was the Dutch East India Company, or VOC for short. This wasn't just a company, it was a beast with its own army, navy, and the power to negotiate treaties. They had a monopoly on Dutch trade in Asia, controlling nutmeg, cloves, pepper, you name it. They muscled into new markets and built a trading empire that spanned the globe. For the past few centuries. This, my friends, is where imperialism 2.0 kicks into high gear. It's not just about finding new trade routes or grabbing a few spices anymore. It's about securing resources, controlling markets, and becoming the ultimate global superpower. Think of it like the difference between playing checkers and playing chess. The stakes just got a whole lot higher. Quinine and the scramble for Africa. Latest gadgets. Imagine showing up to a knife fight with a tank, one of their secret weapons, the gun, muskets that could fire farther and faster, and cannons that could level fortifications. European powers also had the edge in transportation. Steam-powered ships allowed them to navigate rivers and transport troops with speed. And lived in the world. Near of moral righteousness. The reality was that progress often came at a steep price. Indigenous populations were displaced from their lands, their cultures disrupted, their traditions undermined. The environment suffered as well, as forests were cleared, resources plundered, and sound pretty good to the people they'd colonized. The era of empires was coming to an end, and a new chapter in world history was about to begin. Now, let's talk about those folks who said, enough is enough. Across Asia, Africa, and the Caribbean, anti-colonial movements were gaining momentum. These weren't just ragtag groups of rebels, they were organized and strategic. Think Mahatma Gandhi in India, promoting non-violent resistance, or Kwame Nkrumah in Ghana, leading his nation to independence. These leaders turned Western ideals against their oppressors. They argued that colonialism was a big, fat contradiction, and they were willing to fight for their right to self-governance. A just and equitable world. Stay tuned for Part 9, where we'll explore the lasting legacies of European imperialism. Happened in Africa, but with real is everywhere. It's a story of ambition, innovation, and undeniable brutality. Understanding the past isn't about guilt or blame. The world today is the product of countless choices. Aha! Moments that make you see the world in a whole new light. We believe that understanding the past is crucial to navigating the present and shaping a better future. So if you're ready to dive deeper, to explore more untold stories, and to join a community of curious minds who are passionate about history, hit that subscribe button and join the Borderlink Reporter crew. Trust us, you won't regret it. Stay curious, stay informed, and stay engaged, because the world needs more history buffs like